Ronaldo to me, Ronaldo! It's one of the great Old Trafford comebacks. Astonishing!
Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 2. And we are at the business end of the season where it's not about performances, it's all about results. Doesn't matter how we get these results, whether we scrape, whether we nick a goal, it doesn't matter. It's all about results. It's not about performance. And today is a prime example of that. We needed to win today and we did win. The performance was not good at all, especially the first half. Well, you can say especially the first 60 minutes. It was very, very poor, the first 60 minutes. Crystal Palace looked like they were always in the game. The first half was dreadful. I thought the first half was very, very bad. Crystal Palace, when they got on the ball the first half, they looked much better than us. Our passing was too slow, everything. However, as I say, it's all about results. Right now, it's all about results. We needed to win today and we did win. The first goal, Marcus Rashford, brilliant, ice cold. Marcus Rashford is proving that he is an ice cold finisher. I mean, most players, when that came on your left, most players will hit it with their left and hope that it even goes on target and it can go in. But Marcus Rashford had ice running through his veins there. He had the skill to cut back onto his right, and there is an open net after that. Well done to Marcus Rashford. He's proving that he's an ice cold finisher in front of net. You can see that he's been practicing his finishing. Definitely you can see he's been practicing his finishing. He normally just hits the ball, he places the ball, and well done. That was all Marcus Rashford in that first goal. Excellent. We went into half, we came back into the second half, and we came back out of the second half like the first half. We still weren't good on the ball, taking too many touches, not playing 1 and 2 touch football. Players are having 3-4 touches on the ball before they release it. That is criminal. You cannot do that. You cannot do that at the highest level. You cannot do that against a team that has a low block. The team is playing 4-4-2. You have to shift them around with 1 touch football. Nonetheless, the second goal, that was fantastic. And that was Marcus Rashford again. He beat 2 players there. And you know, the commentator, I don't know if the commentator saw it, but the commentator didn't even give Marcus Rashford the credit that he deserved for beating those 2 players. And that's one of my critiques of Marcus Rashford from Project Restart, is that he's not beating players. He's not isolating players. He's not using skill. But for that second goal, he done all of that. Beat 2 players with a bit of skill. And that's what I want from Marcus Rashford. That's what all the best wingers in the world, they all got skill. They all can isolate their fullback and beat their fullback. They all can beat a player. The best of them can beat not 1 player, they can beat 2 and 3 players. And Marcus Rashford showed that in that second goal, where he beat 2 players, stood them for dead, and gave the ball on to He gave the ball on to Martial from there. Excellent play. Martial as well, good finish from Martial, but that goal is all Marcus Rashford. Excellent play from Marcus Rashford. You know, I want to see this. I want to see more of this from Rashford. I want to see him isolating defenders. I want to see him going one-on-one with defenders and beating defenders. I want to see him doing step overs, doing flicks, doing tricks. As a winger, that's what you need to do. And so I saw it in the previous game where he isolated Kyle Walker-Peters and he finished him. And today as well. So I can see it's something he's practicing and it's only going to get better. Martial, cool always. You don't expect anything else from Martial. He's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded in front of the net. Slotted it in front of the net. Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial are forming a formidable partnership. Formidable. And once we get Jadon Sancho, you add Jadon Sancho into that front 3, and I'm telling you guys, next season is going to be a madness. It's going to be a madness with those 3 players. So those were the 2 goals. You know, Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, they were outstanding. They were our outstanding performers today. We were winning 2-0. We were winning 2-0 from, I think we scored that second goal just before the 80th minute. Another thing to question Oli. Why didn't Oli make substitutions? Why didn't he make substitutions? I think Oli had Ollie had another 3 substitutions left. 88 minutes, we are leading 2-0. Why can't you take off Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and maybe Martial or Rashford? Give them a rest. Give them 10 minutes of a rest. No, Ollie didn't do that. Ollie let them play on, and I think it was... Yeah, Ollie let them play on, and we had extra time of 11 minutes. So you could have given them what? What is that, like 20 minutes rest you could have given them. No, Ollie never do that. Ollie played them throughout the whole game. And what's going to happen now against Chelsea? We're going to play these same players that played a full game. We're going to play them against Chelsea because we can't rest those guys. And I don't think Ollie trusts his bench as well. And this is even more reason why Ollie needs to be knocking on Ed Woodward's door and demanding a minimum of 3 signings. Minimum of 3 signings. I would say 4, but obviously it's COVID, it's the pandemic, there's a lot of things. So a minimum of 3 signings because we do not have a bench, guys. We got no bench. You saw Jesse Lingard come on and have 0 impacts on the game. Literally, he done nothing. And he came on the 68 minutes. He had 30 to 40 minutes and he done absolutely nothing. So I'm on Ollie for that. I'm on Ollie for not resting players when we can. 2-0 up. Crystal Palace is not going to come back. Rest your players. Nonetheless, let's go through the players, the player ratings. As I said, this performance, it wants a good performance. It wants a good performance at all. But it's all about the result, guys. All about the results. We need that top 4 finish. This is a good step. This is a good step because Tottenham Hotspur Leicester have to play Tottenham Hotspur next. So for me, that game, they're going to drop points. They're not going to win that game. I think they're going to draw. Chelsea needs to verse Liverpool. And Liverpool are picking up the title when they verse Chelsea. So Liverpool don't want to pick the title up on an L. They don't want to pick the title up on an L. So I think Chelsea's going to drop points. I think Leicester are going to drop points. So it's perfect for us to go to West Ham, who are also struggling, and for us to turn them over and get a result there. So we definitely need to win all our games. If we win all our games, we will definitely get top 4 because we got Leicester on the last day. So player ratings, David De Gea, he pulled off some good saves. When he was required, he performed his saves. I think you can give him a 6, a standard 6. Not that he was bad, but a standard 6. He had nothing much to do, but when he had something to do, he pulled off the save. So a standard 6. Wow, the fullbacks, shocking. Wan-Bissaka, I think he was poor today. Poor today. Wan-Bissaka was poor. Going forward, he was poor. Defending even. Wan-Bissaka is renowned for his defending. Renowned for his one-on-one abilities. But I always, in the beginning of the game, he showed Wilfried Zaha onto his stronger foot and Wilfried Zaha got a shot off and Dave saved that. It was a relatively easy save for Dave. But how do you show Zaha onto his stronger foot? And you played with the guy. Definitely Wan-Bissaka is looking out of form even from the last game as well. He's looking like he's struggling. He's looking like he's fatigued. He needs a rest. We cannot rest him. Unfortunately, he has to play through the pain barrier, play through the fatigue. Unfortunately, I'm going to give him he was poor. I'm going to give him probably a 5, guys. It's harsh, but he was poor. Lindelof was good. I think Lindelof was good. He was solid. He was the better of the 2 centre backs. So I'm going to give Lindelof probably a 6.5. I'm not going to go to a 7, not at all. Oh, but he did make some crucial tackles. So okay, I'll give Lindelof a 7. Harry Maguire, I don't think Harry Maguire was good. Harry Maguire was good in the opposition box in getting his head onto the corners. But he done nothing. He had like 4 attempts at corners where it landed on his head. And he done absolutely nothing. The first one, he should have hit the target. The first one, he should have got his head onto the ball. He didn't think that Sakho was gonna miss the ball and it caught Harry Maguire off guard. He should have got his head onto that. I'm going to give Harry Maguire a 5, guys. I don't think he was solid. I think he looked super vulnerable. And, I don't want to critique him too much, guys. This is our captain. This is our player. But all I'll say is 18 million. 18 million. I'm going to give Harry Maguire a 5. I'm going to give Fosu Mensah a 5 as well. I thought he was poor. He was very, very poor. A huge drop off in standard from him and Luke Shaw. Okay, we expect that, but I think he wasn't good at all. He wasn't good. I'll give him a 5. Going into the midfield, Scott McTominay wasn't good as well. I'll give Scott a 5. Scott done nothing. Scott done absolutely nothing. I don't understand Solskjaer. Before the lockdown, Fred was contending to be our player of the season. Fred was our best performer on the pitch. All of a sudden, now we come back and Fred is at the bottom of the picking order. Now Scott McTominay is ahead of Fred. Why? Fred is better than Scott McTominay. So I don't know what to boil that down to, guys. Whether it's favoritism, whether it's the academy, whether it's the British. I don't know what to put that down to, but Scott was poor today. Scott has been poor from Project Restart. I'm going to give Scott a 5. Paul Pogba, I'm going to give him a 7. Yes, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he ran the midfield, especially in the context of how our midfield played. He ran the midfield. He ran it. He was super composed on the ball. Never give the ball away too much. His passing was good. He was cool on the ball. He was dribbling past players. You know, at one, I remember in the second half, I think it was maybe the 70 minutes or something, even the commentator picked it up. Paul Pogba literally got the ball, I think, from David De Gea, or he got the ball from his centre-backs. And he literally drove forward and started attack by himself, running forward with the ball, running past the opposition. Paul Pogba, 7. Because, okay, let's go on to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes was poor today. That guy was poor. Poor, guys. I'm going to give him a 6. I can even go to a 5.5. You know, I can even go to a 5.5, but I won't, because you can't classify that as an assist, what he gave Rashford. Was it Rashford? Yeah, you can't classify that as an assist. But it will go down as an assist. But I'm going to give Bruno, I'm tempted to give Bruno a 5. Bruno was poor. I'm going to give Bruno a 5.5. I won't give him a 6. I'll give him a 5.5. Bruno was a no-show today. Especially that chance that he had to make it 3. He hit the ball, he hit the post. How can you hit the post? I mean, there's no one in front of you. You only got the goal to shoot, and the goalkeeper's rooted. The goalkeeper can't move, and Bruno hit the post. So Bruno never have a good game today. I'll give him a 5.5. And even his positioning is big time questionable. Big time questionable, because you see Bruno playing next to Martial some of the times. He's playing like a second striker sometimes, and you can't do that. If you're doing that, you're leaving only Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay in the midfield. And that's why I say I give Pogba a 7, and Pogba was extremely good today, because Pogba was doing the job of probably 2 midfielders. Scott McTominay was nowhere in the game. And then Bruno Fernandes was playing so high, his position was all over the place. So Pogba was literally doing the job of 2 midfielders. So that's why I give Pogba such a high rating today. So yeah, that's Bruno. 5.5 for Bruno. It wasn't his good game at all. He was non-existent in this game. A lot of passes he misplaced, you know. But okay, you know, the guys are looking fatigued. Even Bruno at the end of the game, you could literally see when he took that free kick and he hit the side netting, he tried to catch the keeper out on the near post. And you could see Bruno was fatigued. And it's only natural. Ollie's playing him in every single game. When Ollie can't rest him, he's not. So I don't know what's going to happen in the Chelsea game, guys. I'm very, very scared, because we need to rest players, and we did not rest players. So I can understand Bruno for having a poor performance, because he is looking fatigued. It's accumulation of games. I can understand that. But nonetheless, 5.5. Mason Greenwood, let's start there. Mason Greenwood was quiet as well. I'll give Mason Greenwood a 6. A 6 just because he never do anything in this game. He never do much. He never do nothing at all. So I'm going to also give him a 5.5 like Bruno. He was non-existent. And that's why, guys, I will make a transfer news video as well. But that's why we need Jadon Sancho. Because we cannot rely on an 18-year-old Mason Greenwood. There's no way, no big club relies on an 18-year-old, a teenager, to deliver performance of the performance every game. It does not happen. When we signed Cristiano Ronaldo, who is one of the greatest players in the history of the sport, we did not rely on him when he was a teenager. Cristiano Ronaldo was starting on the bench, coming off the bench, and he was literally dribbling himself, falling over himself. We did not rely on him. So there's no way we should be relying on an 18-year-old Mason Greenwood. No way. He still really needs to be matured, his overall game, because it's like if Greenwood's not scoring, he's not doing anything. And I'm not criticizing him. All I'm just trying to do is open up our eyes as fans to see that we need Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is a complete player. Whereas Jadon Sancho, he's scoring, he's assisting, he's playmaking, he's creating chances, he's going past defenders. He's got everything. He's giving you a complete performance of what Greenwood is not giving us at moments, and you can understand because he's only 18. He's only 18. So Mason Greenwood a 5.5, non-existent in this game. Wasn't his best game at all. 5.5 for Mason Greenwood. Marcus Rashford, I think Marcus Rashford was our best player on the pitch. Along with Anthony Martial as well, but Marcus Rashford was outstanding because he got a goal, obviously, and assist. And in the second half, in the first half, everyone is poor, apart from maybe Paul Pogba. But in the second half, Rashford really upped his game. So I'll give Rashford a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5. He got his goal, he got an assist. Excellent for the assist. Excellent play for the assist. Even after the assist, he was doing some tricks. He was going past people. He looked lively. So I'll give Marcus Rashford a 7.5. Anthony Martial, I'll give him a solid 7. I thought that he was solid as well. Anthony Martial's ball control is second to none in the league. I'm telling you, he got the best ball control in the league. The ball literally doesn't leave his foot. His first touch is the best in the league. His link-up play is so good. So good. It's that link-up play of a Bobby Firmino, but for me it's even better because his control is better than Bobby Firmino. So his link-up play is good. His hold-up play is good. Sometimes you see Anthony Martial going all the way to the central midfielders and getting the ball off. Excellent performance from Marcus. Not excellent, very good performance from Anthony Martial, going past people at ease, looking at threats, especially in the second half. So I'm going to give him a solid 7. The substitute, Jesse Lingard, came on 60th minutes. He done absolutely nothing. I'm going to give him a 5. I think that Jesse Lingard, the standard of our football right now, the standard of our players, Jesse is not at that standard. He is at maybe 2 levels below or something. But he is not good. I do foresee him leaving us in the summer window. He has to. I mean, you can't have people on the bench that when they come off the bench, they do not have an impact on the game whatsoever. So, Jesse Lingard, I'm going to give him a 5. I thought Nemanja Matic was very good when he came on. I thought he gave us balance in the midfield. He was winning balls back, intercepting, making tackles. Very good. I'll give him, it's high, but I think I'll give Matic a 7. I thought he brought balance to our team. So those are the only 2 substitutes Oli did bring on. For Oli's rating, I'm going to give Oli a, what? It's harsh. I'm going to give Oli a 6. A 6.5. 6.5 because we were under the cosh. First off, we had no show. Second off, up until the second goal, we had no show. You couldn't see what we were doing. The goals were individual brilliance. Again, it weren't like team play. It weren't like patterns of play. It was individual brilliance. So I'll give him a 6.5. We did get the win. But I criticized him for not taking players off on the 18th minute. We're winning 2-0. Why aren't you taking players off? We need to rest them. So I'm going to give Oli a 6.5, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. If you haven't subscribed, if you're watching this video for the first time, if you're on my channel for the first time, please subscribe and smash a like on the video. I'll see you all on Sunday where we verse Chelsea and hopefully we can get to the final. I'm out.